You have a blocked field goal, you're not going to win many games. So we got to score more points in the red zone. Questions?
Please raise your hand. Let us get the handheld mic to you and let us know who you are, who you're with. First question, front row.
Andrew Jones, Tar Heel Illustrated. What can you pinpoint that went wrong today that maybe was a connection to the last 2 weeks?
Well, let me repeat the opening statement. We were 1 out of 5 in touchdowns in the red zone. If you're going to do that, you're not going to win games. We felt like with DJ, we were going to make him beat us. We were going to stop the run, so we stacked the box. They put in Cade, and Cade played great. So we had to adjust and try to come after him with really young secondary people in the second half. So that put us in a bind. And we had 2 turnovers that led to 14 points. One at the 24-yard line, 1 interception for a touchdown. You're not going to beat a good team with those circumstances.
Yeah, as a follow-up, I should have said more specifically, what are the problems in the red zone that's connecting there to the last 3 weeks?
If I could answer that tonight, I'd be making more money than I am coaching. We'll have to go back and look at it tonight and see what it is. It's been a consistent problem the last 3 weeks, and it wasn't the first 10, so I don't have any idea. They've got a really good defense, I know that, and they were hard to block, and they brought a lot of pressure, and but not many people score many points against them.
Back of the room.
Hey, Mac. Pat Welter in the back here, WRAL.
Yes.
Mac, did expectations get unfairly high on this team before the last 3 games?
I don't have any idea what they were. We want to win every game. As I've said, this team's been in the championship game twice ever since 2012. So that's a really, really good accomplishment. We lost 7 games last year, and we won 9 this year. So that's a tremendous amount of progress. We're playing one of the best teams in the country that, unless they lost by 1 point last week, they would be in the Final Four. So it shows you where we are, and we're making progress, but it also shows you what we've got to do to get better.
Second row to our left.
Mac, Michael Coe, WCHL Chapelboro. Was Clemson playing both quarterbacks and Klubnik pretty much the entire rest of the game after those first 2 drives? Was that something that you were looking for coming into this game, or did that kind of catch you off guard a little bit?
No, Cade had played very little all year, and when he went in at Notre Dame, I think he threw an interception, so we totally thought we would see DJ because they hadn't changed all year. We stopped them the first 2 or 3 times. DJ was struggling. That's exactly what we thought would happen, and we were hoping would happen because he's played good at times. But he didn't play well last week, and he was really struggling. They weren't trying to run the ball. We thought they'd try to line up and run it down our throat like Notre Dame did, and then Cade came in and he hit 20 out of 24 and 10 out of 11 the first half and really played great.
Second row right in front of you, Coach.
C.L. Brown, Raleigh News and Observer. Mac, it's kind of piggybacking off of that. It's been the backup quarterbacks for Georgia Tech and NC State. How difficult is it, and how much changes, from you guys prepared for one thing and you have to kind of change on, in the middle of a game? Like, how does that change how you do it?
Well, it's very difficult, and we've got to do a better job of it. The other thing is we've got a sophomore and 2 freshmen starting in the secondary, and you don't want to blitz. Because if you do, you leave them out there by themselves. And that's what we had to do the second half and gave up some big plays.
Third row to our left, Coach.
Shelby Swanson, Daily Tar Heel. Coach, what was your message to your team on the sidelines following the pick 6?
Pick it up. Go back to work. This is really difficult. It's a hard thing when you're going in to score and cut the score to 24-17, and all of a sudden it's 31-10 when you're third and goal from the 4. But that's part of life. When things happen bad, you got to pick it up and go back. And I didn't think we did very well there. I thought we need to mature and thought we got our head down, which most people would do. And I didn't think we played as well in that stretch. And then they came back and kept trying, but we didn't have the same confidence.
Back of the room, all the way up top.
Hey, Mac, in the back here. What lessons do you think Drake May can take from this game tonight?
Oh, Drake's the reason we're in the game. He's playing the best defense we've played all year by far. It's one of the best defenses in the country, and we'll all grow from playing a great team. When you play a team that's been in the playoffs every year for about 6 out of the last 8, I think, it shows you what you got to do to get where we want to go, and we're not there yet. We're better than everybody else because we got here, but we weren't better than they were. This was kind of like the Notre Dame game. They were physically better than we were, and they whipped us.
To our left by the post.
Ross Martin, Inside Carolina. On the pick six, seemed like a huge moment in the game. What did you see on that play, and then what did you talk to Drake about after the play?
I thought he was trying to throw it to Copenhagen, and it just got out of control and got a little bit high. And then he tried so hard to tackle him, and he couldn't. John tried to tackle him, and that's just a freakish play that changes games, just like Omarion's fumble. We're right in the game, we're moving it, and we fumble it at the 24-yard line. I mean, it's and we're not built yet to walk in there and shut it down like we'd hope we will be at some point. So that's what I saw. I knew it was we hadn't done well in the red zone. He was trying to make a play, and I think it just got out of his hands and slipped out of his hands and went over his head.
Middle of the room right.
Mike Solarte, Spectrum News 1. Coach, you've addressed the fumble, the blocked field goal, the problems in the red zone. Are those the biggest takeaways, the biggest lessons to try to apply to next season for you and your staff and the players that are going to be coming back? Just those big moments in games, those little moments in games? I mean, where does the evaluation, do you think, begins?
Yeah, well, it begins after every game, so we've got to get better for the bowl game, and we'll play a top 15 team somewhere. They'll be really, really good. Secondly, we reevaluate after every year, and red zone touchdowns were one of the major things last year. We wanted to limit tackles for loss. We wanted to limit sacks. We wanted to do a better job on fourth downs, which we've done, and we wanted to do a better job in the red zone with touchdowns, which we did till 3 weeks ago. And we've been playing really good defenses. And when you play great defenses, you're not going to do as well. So we've got to do better against great defenses. And really, Georgia Tech had a really good defense for our league. NC State was one of the best defenses in our league, and Clemson's by far the best. So Clemson rolls in too deep. It's as good as anybody else's ones.
Third row right in front of you, Coach.
Hey, Mac. Adam Smith, Inside Carolina. You might have addressed it earlier, missed some of your early comments, but the way you're able to get the start going with the 2 stops on defense and then the opening drive, what did you think changed for you guys, or what did Clemson adjust, do you think? Did they just decide to bring more pressure?
They did, but they brought pressure the whole game. I think momentum changed when they brought Cade in, and he had an easy score, and the fumble really hurt us because it led to a quick score, and that changed momentum in the game. And then we got down there again and had the blocked field goal, which we haven't had all year, and they brought 2 off the outside, and the guy made a great play. And then we get down there again and have to kick a field goal. So we just kept having negative things happen throughout the game, and I thought we lost some confidence.
Any other questions? Second row to our left.
Mac, Michael Coe, WCHL Chapelboro. You mentioned the bowl game. What are you going to say to the guys to pick them up after this, which could be a demoralizing loss? What are you going to say to them to sort of reset, refocus for the bowl game, which, like you said, is going to be against a good team?
You know, every loss is demoralizing because you want to win so bad, and where there are expectations, you want expectations. People said people get mad when you lose now. That's good because they didn't care when we got here. There wasn't anybody in the stands, and nobody cared, and we won 5 games and lost 18 in 2 years. So I'm really glad people are mad. That's a positive. Secondly, I told the guys we got to get better. You got to learn from it. You got hard things that happen in life, and you got to take negatives and turn them into positives. And we knew this wasn't going to be easy. If we'd asked anybody in here, nobody in here would have picked us. We had our chances to play better. We had our chance to be in the game in the fourth quarter, and that's what we needed to do. In the third quarter, 1st and goal from the 10, we had a chance to cut it to 24-17. So we got to a point where we had our chances. We just didn't cash in on them, and that's what we got to do better. So were there a lot of great things tonight? Yeah. Were we awful? No. Should we have gotten beat this bad? No. We allowed things to happen that let the score get out of what it should have been.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you all.